I know what you're thinking. I wasn't gonna upload this week. I'm a little late. I'm trying. What's up, y'all? Thank you for tuning in to another video. We're just gonna do a recap video, as you can tell by the title. Let's kind of talk about it. Let's break it down. First off, first tournament down in the Bama division. 3 claps. That's all we need. We got Mississippi coming this weekend. Gotta lock in. I came in. I'm currently sitting like 65th out of 160 something. I don't know, but everybody else be like, okay, you did all right. I don't like that. Y'all know me. Y'all know I'm competitive. Y'all know I got to get right. But it wasn't too much more I could have done. I did miss 2 fish. Short bites. They didn't feel like nothing, but I didn't see them. I could have missed about an 8-pounder. Never know. But we just going to recap the whole day. First off, shout out to everybody who checked in on me. I did have an accident on the way home. I got swerved off the road by somebody, hydroplane, hit a sign, hit the ditch, bout flipped. It's all right. I'm good. My baby got some cosmetic problems. Getting that fixed up currently. I will be driving a car 3 hours. If y'all know me, y'all know I hate driving cars. But let's get straight to it. I'm good. That's all that matter. No cuts, no bruises, nothing else on the healed. I was a little hurt, but nothing serious. First off, I want to shout out my boater, Mr. Davenport. I don't know if he'll watch this video. I don't know, he watched the video of us fishing. He sent me some feedback. Well, he said he liked it, but shout out to him. He set the bar high in terms of a boater. I don't know if anybody will top him. Younger guy, so it was good vibes. Didn't talk much. That's one thing, though. When it comes to tournaments, y'all, these videos are going to be more so just fishing. Because as a co-angler, I'm like Kawhi Leonard. I'm just going to sit back there and do my job. I ain't talking. I don't really like talking as much in tournaments when I'm a co-angler with people I don't know, because it's either I'm okay with co-anglers or I don't really like co-anglers. There's never somebody who goes, I love co-anglers. So I just try to stay out that way and just fish. But shout out to him. Great guy. He was like, just throw anywhere. I got net if you need it. I don't really ask for the net, but he said if I needed it, he had me. What else? Just a great guy overall. Dumped me off in the lake, and he had his friends with him, so he just went over there and got the boat. I really didn't have to do nothing at all, but it was still great to fish with him. Taught me some stuff. I kind of just paid attention to what he was doing, and as a whole, that kind of just brought me as a better angler going into the rest of the season. And we got a few things we got to cover today. I'm gonna make this video as quick as possible, but we finna get into it. Let's break it down. Let's annotate it. Let's do this together. I ask for feedback all the time, so if y'all didn't give me no feedback and I'm doing bad, don't get on here talking about well, you should have did this, because I asked. Tell me what's really going on. Jave back up in this thing. I'm ready. What's happening? All right, bait of the tournament. Did I just kick the camera? My bad. Bait of the week. Bait of the tournament. Was the Yamamoto skip gap shaky head hook with a June bug finesse worm. Now, we went June bug because it was a whole lot of rain leading up to the tournament. It rained a lot during the tournament. So I was informed that is not the usual watercolor. The watercolor is a lot clearer. It got a little murky. It got stained pretty bad. So I just went ahead and went to a whole dark presentation. Didn't have any complaints from the fish. They ate it. They tore it up. They got caught. Some of them, got put in a live well. One thing that was key, as you can tell in the video, when I caught those 2 bass back to back and I missed that first one, I just went ahead and broke off a little piece. I broke off about that much. How much is that? About 2 inches of worm. I'm cool with the eyes. So I broke off about 2 inches of the worm. And because, like he said, though, they were smaller fish biting. And I really just had to adapt to them smaller fish. So I just broke it off. After I caught a limit, though, I put another one on full size because I was hoping a bigger fish, would be enticed to that just full presentation. But in the meantime, I just had to get 5. And after I got 5, I was like, let me go ahead and catch a few more, see if I can upsize. I upsized. And then when I put the full presentation on, I didn't get as many bites. So I know either we wasn't in the fish anymore or they just wasn't enticed by that big worm. So shout out to the skip gap shaky head rod of the tournament. Y'all know you seen this in my hand the whole time, because really this is what I was using. This is the Quantum Optic X20. Cheaper rod, honestly. what happened is I lost somebody. I think my real shaky head rod got stolen. I had a smaller lose that I liked. It did get stolen because it was at my cousin's house. So really, I just got this Quantum. I like it. It's actually a cool rod. It's a cheap rod, very cheap, and it get the job done. I haven't had any complaints with it. I've been using it for a while now. Drag solid, whole line well. As you can see in the video, I had a full spool. I ain't really get tangled up much. The only thing, it kind of slip off the guys because I got so much line, but I just hold it, really get it back. And then I'm using this Daiwa. Ooh, don't let me lie to you. This is the Air DX. I don't know the number, but it's the Air DX. I know that. And it's a 7-foot medium action. Don't mind me. I got so many of these rods because I like these rods. I keep forgetting which ones I have on at times because I got medium heavy, and I got a medium light, and I like all three of them. All three of the variants. And, you know, really and truly, this was in my hand majority of the tournament because I did throw other baits. I just didn't put it in the camera. I threw crankbait. I threw a chatterbait. I was going to throw a spinnerbait, but my partner caught the first fish on a spinnerbait, and I didn't have it tied on because I was talking to somebody before the tournament. We linked. We was like, yeah, I'm thinking. I told him the conditions. He's not from here. And then I told him what I was going to throw. We was on the same page. He was like, yeah, that spinnerbait going to do it. And I was like, yeah, let me tie that up when I get there in the morning. I forgot to tie it up. He caught one on it. I didn't want to seem like it was on some monkey see, monkey do. So I didn't tie it, which is childish. I know, y'all. Don't rip into me. I know it's childish. I got to get over that. But, let me see. Let me show y'all. But let me switch rods real quick. I'm going to show y'all my cadence, how I was breaking it down. Break down the brick like a fraction. Yeah. I use it now to line my reels up, to be honest, when I'm just chilling. But, yeah, just break it down. Look, you want to hit bottom. You want solid contact. Just kind of it's a shaky head. Just shake it a few times. Now, this time, I know I said the 1, 2, 3. Now it's more of about 7. Give it about 7. Let it hit, reel, pick it up, reel your slack. When you reeling, you just reeling slack. You ain't hitting, I don't reel for nothing else. And now I go back to lift. And I might give it some hard pops. Let them, you see? Give them some hard pops. Like, you want them to see that presentation, that worm. So, because now they shallow. They look in the feed. It's no more like lethargic. I might hit it. Now they want it. So now you gotta, sometimes you gotta, and you're gonna get that reaction strike. I only caught 2 fish on anything else. And, you know, I'm gonna break that down. I'm gonna give y'all the cadences and, you know, and I was using this. I think this is a Daiwa too. Daiwa has really taken over my life. I'm not gonna lie. Because Daiwa is a cheap rod. And when I say cheap, all right, let me say this. When I say cheap, I'm not talking like Walmart cheap. I'm talking in terms of like big angler cheap. Because if you look at what they use and you look at what I use, it's cheap. So, the Daiwa Fuego is a good jig rod. I use it for jigs. It's more of, it's got a hard backbone to it, but it's got a little too much for grass. You know what I'm saying? It's got that. But I use this for my jigs when I'm like hitting rock. You can use it in grass. It's just I have something harder for grass. Right here. One of my harder rods. Don't mind me, I'm just dropping stuff. But as you can see on the loadout, I was using a Z-Man tungsten. Now, finesse jig. I throw that finesse jig, 5-inch, Gary Yamamoto double tail grub. That cinnamon black. That cinnamon black is gonna do it. That cinnamon black go crazy. And same thing. I'll lose, speed, spool. It's a slower gear ratio. It's a 681. Nothing special. Nah. Nothing fancy at all. Really, your gear ratio don't matter to me on jigs because you just giving it some little action, and you don't really got to catch up with fish as like the catch up ain't as crazy with jigs in my opinion. That's why the gear ratio don't matter. Let's go to the little rod, break it down. Little rod, same thing kinda. When I was using that jig, we was in like shout out to me. I was in like 27 to 40 foot of water. Like it was a steep drop where I caught them 2 bass on the jig. I was just throwing it out there, letting it hit bottom, dragging it. And this time it was more of a drag because I was feeling so much rock. And when I'm feeling rock, I'm in my environment. So I'm dragging, I'm hitting rock. When you feel a good rock, like like a kunk. Like it's a good rock. You just bumped over it, you can stop. Cause that jig then went ahead and he got that double tail on it, and them fish looking like, oh yeah, dinner. So now you can give it a hard pop, and it's gonna pop and it's gonna knock off a rock. Sometimes you can get a reaction strike off that, or they'll bite it on the drop. Basically it with the jig. Cause when you in an area with fish with the jig, once you start hitting rocks, and the rocks do it itself, honestly. You pulling it and it's hitting rocks, it's boom, boom, ba-doom, doom. And then when you feeling the rocks, you can give it a hard pop and it's gone. It's two more things that I really want to cover off the top of my head. How I was catching my fish. After I talked to my partner, because I really don't talk to my partner as much as everybody else do before tournaments, because we got plenty time before the tournament to talk. So I kind of figured out how he was fishing. He said, I'm going to throw some crankbaits. I'm going to throw some spinner baits. I'm going to throw, he moving. It was obvious he was a power fisherman, and I was like, that's fine. So when we first started, my main thing is how he moving the trolling motor. If he going, I know to get ahead, boom, boom. Get ahead, like, boom, boom. Fish them areas because we moving fast, but I'm fishing finesse. But he was going at a moderate pace, so it was kind of easier to fish with him. He was throwing spinner baits, cranking it in. And I was just going where he was. Basically, like, if I seen him throw on the right side of the tree or in the middle of the tree, I kind of felt like he was just giving me that left side sometimes. So I just kind of flip it in on the left, and I was getting a lot of bites doing that because he moving, and they might not want that. Maybe they just sitting there waiting on something more stationary. So I was giving them that shaky head, just a few shakes in the area. They was coming and getting it. Same thing with the jig. When we was there, he was fishing live scope, and I was kind of like, I might catch something. So I ended up catching two, and I think my biggest one came from that area. Which brings me to my next point. Live scope. Anglers are using live scope. If they fish in tournaments, they using live scope. If they want to catch fish, they using live scope. Live scope is going to be something you run into as a co-angler. And I seen a post on Facebook, and a dude was mad because somebody was using live scope and he didn't have a chance to catch nothing. I caught something when my angler was using live scope. I'm not complaining. I caught multiple times. When he was focused primarily on live scope, I caught fish. But one thing I do know that I feel like will help me and somebody else who possibly watched this video, when they fish in live scope, they are seeing suspended fish. It might be one, it might be two, it might be three, it might be a whole gathering of them. What I thought about after the fact that I should have did, one thing that would have really improved, I think I could have caught something better. I do always keep me some finesse swim baits. I'm thinking, I don't gotta know where the fish is. If we in 40 foot of water and he catching them, they suspended, I know they suspended, obviously. So with that being said, I'm thinking next time I'm gonna have me a swim bait rod. I'm gonna throw it out there, let it drop a few, reel it in. So, throw it out, let it drop a little longer, reel it in. Throw it out, let it sit at about top, reel it in. Cause at some of them times you do feel stagnant. It's not much you can do, or you think you can do when somebody using live scope, but you can capitalize on those moments. And I think that's one thing I should have did a little better, because he was around fish at times and he was throwing his bait with live scope. Don't ask me what he was using. I don't really be in they arsenal like that. But what I know, I got some swim bait, some finesse. Because if he throwing a big swim bait and they not biting and I throw finesse, I might actually get a bite. So I'm downsizing what he using. If he's using that, or he could be throwing a crankbait or a jerkbait. I don't know. I really don't pay attention to anglers that much. But I do know when he was doing that, I could have took advantage of just throwing a swim bait and bringing it through. Because sometimes I just got to the point where I was like this. It was cold, so I'm like, I'm just going to warm up. I feel like he'll get somewhere where I can catch a fish, which I shouldn't have done. I should have just kept fishing anyway. But I didn't do it long. But I feel like at the same time, I could have capitalized on a lot of moments by just throwing a swim bait when I wasn't doing anything. And that's to catch those suspended fish. Throw something where you can fish suspended with your angler that's using live scope. But I caught fish when he was on live scope that he probably didn't see, or he wasn't targeting. So I still made the best of those moments. Altogether, that's a good recap. I asked a lot of people for feedback. I didn't get much. I got like the video, interview the angler, or loadout. Your loadout's cool. And I appreciate everybody who shout out or show love. But I do want to make everything entertaining. I want to make it enjoyable to watch. So going forward, y'all leave a comment. Tell me what you want to see more of. Things I should do to make the content better. We on the road this weekend. We in Ross Barnett. First tournament for Mississippi Division. We got Bama out the way. Mississippi Division up next. Ross Barnett is not that big of a fishery, like, for real, honestly. There's going to be a lot of, I think, backwater fishing. So I'm going to make the most of it. Of course, y'all know that. And I appreciate y'all tuning in. Leave a like. Let me know. Let me know what y'all want to see. If y'all want to see more in the car. I had a lot of people say they like the ride there. Like, I did it kind of vlogish, but I feel like a little more B-roll, a little more. I just want to make it enjoyable content. So I appreciate y'all tuning in. Subscribe if you haven't. Y'all went crazy with the views, and I greatly appreciate that. Y'all have no idea. But subscribe if you haven't, and you rocking with me. But that's all I got today. Y'all take care. I love y'all, man. Be easy. Be easy.